Hey, everybody. I'm so glad that you joined me this week. This is the week of, what is this, March 3rd. So I'm going to unpack this week and I'm going to give you the week in rewind. All right. So I feel like saying what the kids say in school is Friday, Friday. Every week, every Friday, they play that song. All right, before I get started, it is March. We are in March, people. This is Women's History Month, as well as Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Woo! The color is blue. I've been representing all week, wearing my blue. If it's not blue, it's something about colon cancer. So I'm so excited to be able to share my journey with you. You know that my story is on my YouTube channel. So everybody watching, please subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. So every time I upload something, which is all the time because you got to be consistent with this thing, please do so you can know and be notified when I come on. All right, y'all know this show is a 20-minute show. We are in and we are out. So welcome to Top 10 Weekly with Kendéll Lenice. I'm glad you're here. So stay a little while. All right, let's get right into it. The word of the week is stultify. STULTIFY. It means to cause someone or something to become dull or ineffective. Stultify. Have you ever heard that? Try to use it in a sentence, put it in your vocabulary because it's about expanding and expounding on your vocabulary. The book of the week. Now, this is a book that I've read. I'm trying to think if it was 3 times, 2 times. It was a great book. It's Just As I Am, a memoir of Cicely Tyson. Now, this memoir she released just before she passed away. She had been urged to write this for years, and she finally did. One of her great friends, Tyler Perry, urged her to write it. So she called on a lot of her friends in her memory to write this. And the way this is written is phenomenal. And if you listen to the audio book, man, oh man, that thing is phenomenal. So Cicely Tyson, even in the audio book, opens up the book, right? But it's not read by her. But when you're listening, because I don't know if you know audiobooks or if you like audiobooks, right? It all depends on who's reading the book. Now, the content is great, but sometimes if you have a person reading it and it doesn't sound right, then it doesn't capture you. So the words on the page and this who recorded the audiobook, phenomenal. So she talks about everything from Miles Davis, when she was married to him, to Tyler Perry. She talks about one of her best friends, Diane Carroll. Lenny Kravitz is her godson. So she really goes into a lot and you learn a lot. And it's so much wisdom in that book. And the reason why I made it Book of the Week, although I didn't read it this week, the reason why I made it Book of the Week, I was a guest on a panel of Black authors this week, right? And one of the ladies from the news outlet talked about she was reading this book. So I got so excited when she was reading it because no one else on the panel read it, I don't think. Because the minute she said it, I had to take my phone off mute. I was like, isn't that a good book? It's so good. So I think that I'm going to circle back and read it or listen to the audio maybe the 3rd time or the 4th time. I can't remember, but that's the book of the week. Podcast of the week is J.Ill. This is Jill Scott's podcast with Elia St. Clair and Aja Danzler, Graydon Danzler from the group Kindred. Far away from here. You know who Aja is. But they have a podcast, and it's one of my favorite podcasts, right? Jill always says it's a podcast to spark conversations that spark conversations. And they have so many amazing conversations that are powerful when it comes to women, when it comes to Black women, when it comes to the community, when it comes to business, just everything. They talk about everything. But this week they had, and they don't always have guests. Sometimes they do. But this week, Stephanie Mills was a guest on J.Ill. And if you know anything about Stephanie Mills, she keeps it 100. Like, she's going to tell you how she feels. She's going to tell you what she thinks. And they ask, because she is the elder in that game. So you think about Jill Scott and you think about Aja, they're in the music industry. And Stephanie Mills started at a very young age. So the title of that episode is Stephanie Mills, period. And she doesn't disappoint. On repeat this week, the playlist song of the week, I was thinking about that. And it's my song that I just keep playing. Norman Hutchins, you know, God's got a blessing with your name on it. With your name on it. God's got a blessing. See, I be trying to sing every single week, but God's got a blessing with your name on it. That is my jam. I will listen to that song 11 times in a row. It gets me hyped. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing with your name on it. Name on it. It doesn't sound quite like that, but that's my jam. That's this podcast on the playlist song of the week on repeat. All right. So the quote of the week is by Nelson Mandela. This is the quote. It always seems impossible until it's done. It always seems impossible until it's done. You know how when you're looking at this big feat, this big old mountain, think about you're climbing this mountain, right? It looks impossible. The mountain is towering over you, obviously, right? And it's tall, super tall. And you're down here like, okay, they want me to climb up there. It looks impossible until you're at the top of that mountain looking down. And even something as simple as today, I had tropical smoothie today, right? And I put it in my cup holder in my car, but somehow the cup had a leak right on the side and I didn't see it. Next thing you know, green smoothie all over my cup holders. It looked like slime. And I looked at that. I'm like, that's a lot to clean up. But then I said, okay, let me get the paper towels. Let me get the Lysol wipes and let me just do what I do. So what I did was do what I do. And now I'm looking at it and it's clean. So even though it may have seemed like a lot, after you look at it, you're like, psh. So the quote of the week is, it always seems impossible until it's done. So the human being of the week, I was thinking about this and I was like, who do I want to make the human beings of the week? And I have to say, my spiritual cousins in my Classes in Session, which is ran by Danella Lane. Danella Lane, let's get her name right because you're going to hear her name, right? And my cousins are the human being of the week. Why? Because you see these for a lot of reasons. Everybody on there on our group chat supports one another, encourages one another, inspires one another, shares testimonies. They allow people to feel like they're not alone. If you need someone to come to your aid, I can't even keep up with the group chat because they're coming to your aid, right? And even with my ribbons, my colon cancer awareness ribbons, I was just getting cash apps and I'm sending out the ribbons, and it's a donation to support so I can spread the word about colon cancer awareness. And I have an opportunity to even go to different states and just to really, especially in March, to get the word out about colon cancer awareness is so very important, and it's so near and dear to my heart. So, just $1 or more, and I keep going like this because I'm looking at the camera, but $1, so I'm going to send $2 or $3 or whatever it is, and I'm mailing them out. So you can wear your ribbon, and then someone can say, hey, what's the blue ribbon? Because everyone knows the pink ribbon for breast cancer awareness, but they're unaware of the blue ribbon. So to be able to get that word out, they are the human beings of the week. All right, so trending topics this week. Will Smith won for his movie Emancipation, the AAFC Awards. It's the Black Film and TV Critic Awards. and he won. And this is the first time he stepped on stage since Slapgate, where he slapped Chris Rock. So this was the first time he got on stage, and he was Will Smith, and he was humble, and he talked about the movie, which he's very passionate about. And of course, people are bringing up it, and it's like, okay, if somebody rights their wrongs, if somebody apologizes, if somebody owns what they did, leave it alone. Like, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm sure we're going to hear about it forever, but he was on there and he won. Have I seen Emancipation? No, because I'm not in the heart space to see that. I just didn't want to see that, but I'm sure it's great. Everyone says it's great. All right, what else is trending? Shaka Khan is trending, but she is trending because the interviewer asked her what she thought about Mary J. Blige redoing Sweet Thing. She proceeded to say that Mary J. Blige effed it up. And then she went on and talking about it. And she said, but Mary's my girl. We got that kind of relationship. Like, I told her that, were you asleep? Well, what's going on? And Mary said she recorded at 8 a.m. And she said, 8 a.m? Like, why are you recording songs at 8 a.m? It sounds like you recorded at 8 a.m. And then now the internet is showing different live versions of Mary singing it. Now, everybody loves Mary J. Blige, but when she's in her feeling, she's in her feeling, right? So she's not really concerned about maybe if the vocals are top notch. It's Mary. She gonna give you everything she got. She gonna kick with them high boots, and that's what she's gonna do. And she's gonna give her heart and soul. So Shaka Khan said that's her friend. She could tell her that, but she told her she hated the remake to Sweet Thing. Now, what else is trending? I just shout out my cousins for Human Beings of the Week. So you guys have to go back and watch that. If I have any of my cousins on here, I just named you guys a Human Beings of the Week. All right. And I'm also streaming live on Instagram. Hey, IG. And as well as YouTube Live. So definitely, if you're on IG, please go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. She Amber, I just shouted out my cousins as the Human Being of the Week, just for holding us down and holding each other down in that chat. So you got to go catch the replay or go to YouTube. I shouted y'all out. So let all the cousins know I shouted y'all out. I'm just so grateful to have them. All right, so what else is trending? McDonald's is trending because of Cardi and Offset. Remember, they had that meal, and it was a big to-do about them having a meal, the meal that they liked at McDonald's. So now, check this out. They broke the golden arch code. Did y'all know that McDonald's had a golden arch code? What that is because of their offensive language, they don't want to promote and put their pictures up in McDonald's anymore. Now, this is the thing. Didn't they know who Cardi B and who Offset were before they gave them a meal and before they spent money on an ad campaign? They had to know. And Cardi B has always been 100% her. If she says it, she feels it. If she feels it, she says it. She means it. I believe that Cardi B is a very smart girl. If you listen to her speak, she's very smart, but people can't get past certain things with her. And now they broke that code. So now they're not going to promote it as much as they did. Because I know when my daughter and I went to McDonald's and my daughter got something, we saw the big picture. So I guess now they're saying they're not going to do it, but that's what's trending. Also, what's trending is Auntie Oprah. She purchased 870 acres of land in Maui. And she paid nearly $6.6 million for it. What else is trending is Keke Palmer and her boyfriend had a baby. And congratulations to them. But what's trending is what she said today about single moms. Now, I was a divorced single mom, so it was near and dear to my heart. Keke Palmer said that, and she was tearing up when she said that. She said, I've only been a mother for a couple of days, and I have help. I have a village. but I can't even imagine being a single mom. And her quote was, she said, it's time to pull off your capes, clip your angel wings. She said, it takes a village, and sometimes a village is a privilege. Think about that. So when someone is a single mom, I always say you're never a single mom because God is always there and he's going to send your angels just when you need it. It's going to be a check in the mailbox. It's happened to me plenty of times, check in the mailbox. I'm like, where did this check come from? You know, one time I got laid off and I couldn't get unemployment, but they sent me a check. But then they said, you know what? We weren't supposed to send. This was many years ago. And then it's just amazing. They sent a check right when I needed it. Think about that. And that was probably, my kids were young then. But single moms, God just makes a way. But I did have to, when I got a job, I did have to pay. I did have to pay for that check. And I think I was, oh God, my kids were little. My kids are in their 20s now. My kids were little, but when I got a job, they was like, oh, yeah, you can give it that check back. But look how God did that buffer. I needed it then. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to pay it back. When I had to pay it back, I was good, right? But she said, shout out to all the single moms. It takes a village, and sometimes that's a privilege. Also trending, Ricky Smiley, he lost his son, and in real time, he talked about it on his social media pages, and he was on national television this week just trying to allow himself to grieve in a way and doing what he thought was right, bringing awareness to drug use and really having conversations with your kids and knowing your kids, because he said he hasn't gotten a toxicology report back yet. But he believes, based off of his girlfriend who called, that it was a drug overdose. Getting to the end of trending topics, Tisha Campbell. So Gabrielle Union was on, a few months back, she was on The View, and she was talking about sisterhood, and she was talking about how Tisha Campbell paid for 10 sessions of therapy for her. 10 sessions. She didn't have to. She paid for 10 sessions because she knew that she needed it, right? And now, fast forward this week, Tisha Campbell was on The View. Whoopi Goldberg brought it up. She said, Tisha Campbell, Gabrielle Union talked about you paying for therapy for her. And Tisha Campbell said she teared up. She saw that. And she was just talking about how sisterhood is, and you have to be there for one another to lift everyone up, to lift one another up. And I think that that's so important. And Tisha said she didn't even know Gabrielle Union remembered that. But that's the thing. When somebody helps you, when you need the help, you remember. The person that's giving from the kindness of their heart, they may forget. But the person that you've affected, in that mighty, mighty way, they're not going to forget. And so I thought that was a nice full circle moment. And I'm glad Whoopi brought that up. Last trending topic is my girl Lizzo. I love Lizzo because she's y'all know Special is one of my favorite songs. But other than that, there's a clip, and I reposted it on my Instagram story today. There was a lady in her audience, and she said, do you need a hug? Because I guess the girl, you couldn't really hear if she was saying she needed a hug. So Lizzo is on the stage performing. She stops. And the girl said yes. And then Lizzo was like, I need a hug too. And she's laid on the stage so she could hug this girl. And she hugged her for a good little while. And the girl, of course, was emotional. And I just thought that was beautiful, that she can recognize up there, and she's a real person, like, hey, I need a hug. And on my podcast, Shine with Kendéll Lenice, I did a whole episode a few weeks ago about the power of a hug and how hugs have health benefits. So when I saw her do that, and to stop, because people underestimate hugs, that embrace, like whatever you're going through, you can put it in a hug. And I love the fact that she stopped her concert and had a conversation on the mic with this girl. So although there were all those people in the audience, it was those two. And just because Liz was on the stage, she's talked about, low self-esteem and insecurities. And she's talked about her struggles, right, with emotional mental health. She's talked about that publicly. So for her to be able to receive that hug as well, That was a sweet moment. I was tearing up. Yeah. All right. So inspiration of the week. We're winding down. Inspiration of the week is pray, work, trust, and expect. Pray about that thing. Do the work, because faith without works is dead. Trust that God is going to make it happen, and expect that it's going to happen. That's your inspiration of the week. Lesson of the week is if you complain, you will get more of what you complain about. Walk in thanks for everything and complain less and celebrate your blessings more. That's the lesson of the week. Okay, throwback jam of the week. We get into the end. So throwback jam of the week. This person is 4'9". I talked about this person at the beginning of this episode. This person is 4'9", under 5 feet tall. However, this person's voice is 10 feet tall. They said there's no place like home and proved it on Broadway for 4 years, starting at the age of 17 years old. Later, that same Broadway play became a movie, and it had Diana Ross in it, and it had Michael Jackson in it. The song, since I talked about Stephanie Mills being on Jill Scott's podcast, I said, well, why not do a throwback jam of the week of Stephanie Mills? I got a chance with my girl, Basine. Shout out, Basine. We went to go see Stephanie Mills a few months ago. She's her favorite singer. Her voice was strong. Her voice was powerful, and she gave a show. The review is on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out here. But the song is, I never knew love like this before. What a surprise. Never. Y'all know the song. If you don't know the song, you better stream it. That's the throwback jam of the week. All right. As always, we're leaving with gratitude, the gratitude of the week. Why I feel gratitude, why I'm gracious, why I'm thankful. I am grateful for the light God put in me. I was talking to a colleague, and she said, first she was tripping because she didn't know that I was my age. So she was tripping on that. And she was like, you never know that you went through cancer or that you did. She said, because every time I encounter you, you are a light. Like you're a positive light. Every time I encounter you, working, you're just a positive light. And that's the goal, right? I'm not perfect by any means, but the goal and the plan is to have your experience with somebody be something positive that they can take with them. And I'm grateful that even without trying sometimes that I am that, because I had no idea she felt that way. I had no idea. And she happened to say that. And it made a sister feel good. I was like, wow, thank you, God, because that's who puts the light there. So that is my gratitude of the week. Everybody, thank you so much for watching Top 10 Weekly with Kendéll Lenice, the best of the week in rewind. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit that notification button. And I'm here with this show. Y'all know I got 5011 shows on YouTube, but I'm here with this show every Friday, rewinding the week. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Thank you, IG. Remember, you're a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Until next time, God bless. Peace, y'all. Thank you for watching.